I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
Dre, chime in here if you don't mind.
Oh, you know me. I love it. I love it. Cartagena gets you got guys that actually think that the pay for play is going to break any city of Colombia, and Colombia, whatever that city is, it'll fall by the wayside if it doesn't have its pay for play mortals available. Colombia, we're just talking about Cartagena. You guys have been hearing me say lately, Cartagena, and you can look it up in 2023, 3.5 million visitors. 3.5 million people came, and let's say it was 500,000 of those, or even 1,000 of those. I mean, even 600,000 of those were guys that came for a weekend warrior for fun. That still leaves you almost 3 million people. The majority of people that come to Cartagena have a good time, don't get scoped, don't get robbed, don't get deleted, and go back home. And so for the mayor to sit back and say, you know what, this group right here is nothing but a black eye to what this group is over here. So the mayor says, I got a choice. I can get rid of this little 500,000 and still look good in Cartagena because I got 3 million still coming through on a regular basis from around the world. And when you put the numbers there, because numbers aren't going to lie to us, when you put the numbers there, now you understand why the mayors in several cities and the governors of the states in Colombia are coming together, because they had a meeting at the beginning of the year to do this. So this is not something that just one city is doing. Medellin is already putting up his plans together to do the exact same thing on a massive scale. Cali is not going to let it unfold like that at all. You got Bucaramanga. Dudes ain't even going to Bucaramanga. That's the most expensive living city in Colombia. And Bogota, just did an interview with a guy that lives in Bogota, and yesterday, and he actually was telling me about the same thing that they got planned in certain areas of Bogota. So Colombia do realize that it's a vacation spot as well as a relocation spot, and to keep things going and keep the real money flowing, not the pay for play only money, but the real money flowing in this country. They realize we have to protect, for example, in Cartagena, the 3 million, even if 500,000 are coming down just to be weekend warriors.
Andre, did you read about that story about when Cartagena? See, because what you said at the top of your comment, when you said that guys think that the tourism is gonna fall, or Colombia gonna fall to the wayside, you know, all that because that part of that is gone. Man, y'all crazy, man. I don't even know if that's even 2% of the tourism economy. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all got to understand that those guys who come in for that, y'all not patronizing none of the restaurants. Y'all not going to none of these other bars and locations. You're not going. Most you do is go buy a boat. You know what I'm saying? To have fun and pay for the room. So your dollars is not going to the Colombian tourism outside of that. It's going to them chicas. That's going to introduce that money right back into the Colombian economy. See what I'm saying? So that's what your money going towards. But was it last week or 2 weeks ago? See, I don't know if people know, Cartagena has a large cruise ship industry. For the first time, Cartagena hosted 6 cruise ships in one day. And I think a couple of them stayed overnight. In those 6 cruise ships, there were over 15,000 people just for those 6 cruise ships that came into Cartagena. Now, if you got all of these cruise ships from around the world, whatever cruise line coming into Cartagena on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, that's a form of tourism right there. Why wouldn't they want those people, if they're going to be docked for 8 hours, to get off that boat and then journey off up into Yosemite or Manga or any other tourist spots in Colombia to go enjoy the festival or enjoy what Cartagena has to offer? Why would the Colombian officials or the Colombian government choose to not protect those individuals, like Dre said, the real money, versus all of the knuckleheads that want to come and buy box? You know what I'm saying? That right there, make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So just to drive home the point about the tourism being shut down in Colombia, because that is gone. Man, y'all lost y'all mind, man. Colombia way too beautiful of a country and then that ain't gonna stop none of the Europeans from coming. The Europeans still gonna continue doing what they doing and not say nothing. The reason why Colombia is like it is because of us. We went and did this to Colombia like that. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing it for years and not saying one solitary word and been knowing about what we've been finding about here over the last 10 years about Colombia outside of the people who've been traveling here for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
That is so true. To piggyback off what you just said, we get more tourists in Cali from from Northern Europe, from Finland, Iceland. I met a brother 6'5" Dutch. I ain't never met a Dutch brother. I walked up to him in the club. I said, "Bro, what you doing here?" I'm thinking he from the States, 6'5". I'm thinking from the States. That accent kicked in.
That was Travis Kelce, man.
I know, right? That accent kicked in, and I said, "Where you from?" He said, "Man, I'm Dutch." I was like, "Wow." So, and the reason why I was surprised not because he was coming from his area of the country or the world, but because just to meet my first brother from that area. But there are the number one groups that come down here to Cali, just in our area, and to Manizales, in other words, the coffee region, Sweden, Switzerland, Finland, Austria, that whole region, they're always down here in droves. They're always here. I've got so much footage of interviewing white people from that part of Europe because they go to areas of Colombia that's not just the hot tourist spots. They go everywhere. So to piggyback off of what Los is saying, he's 100% correct because this is not what I heard. This is what I'm seeing on a regular basis here in Cali. And when I go to the coffee park, Juan Valdez Coffee Park, they're there. You go to Guatapé to climb the rock, they're there. You go to Manizales Parada, you go to the waterfall areas, you go to the volcano areas, you go to the snow-capped mountains. Nothing but Europeans over here spending their dollars. Now, will pay-for-play disappear or be a thing of the past in Colombia? No, we know better than that. Nobody's that dumb. That's the oldest paying profession in the world. No matter where you go on the planet, it'll always be pay-for-play. But will it be more controlled? Because they're planning on bringing the cruise ships to Barranquilla as well. And so to have cruise ships in Barranquilla, cruise ships in Cartagena, and they're getting another thing to piggyback off of that, because Trump ended the cruise industry coming from the States to Cuba, they're going right past Cuba, coming directly here. And so they're like, you guys that have brought tomfoolery to certain areas of Colombia, you're not going to mess this up for us. You're not going to mess this opportunity to have global impact in regards to tourism and hospitality just because you want to bust a nut. We got a spot for you. We're gonna put you on this little corner, isolate you, and if you dare try to come out of this area, and I'm going to tell you something was going to hit a lot of guys. Mm-hmm. Y'all ready? I predict this in 2024, 2025. Once they start arresting tourists, once they start arresting us on, like you said, the trafficking, once they start arresting us for acting a fool, getting into fights, having intimacy on the balconies, throwing money in the air, once they start putting us behind bars, whether it be a couple hours or overnight, watch it change. That's what I see coming down the turnpike. Colombia's got too much money. And just in case you guys ever wonder what the number one export in Colombia is, it is oil, petroleum, gasoline, gold, and emeralds. After that, you have the textile, as far as not textile, but as far as you have flowers, coffee, as well as Colombia in 2022 sold over $600 million in exporting vehicles. We do have manufacturing companies, manufacturing plants in Colombia that a lot of guys don't talk about. So when you guys sit back and think that pay-for-play is going to reign the day, yeah, pay-for-play will always be around, but it will not rule like it did over the last, in our minds, the way that we think it is.
Straight facts. Some people must have thought it was cocaine.
Yeah, it's
Nah, it's definitely not. So Fly,